Dale from Gale Force Winds. It's really exciting to be in conversation here at Discovery Community College in beautiful Nanaimo, British Columbia. I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying the feeling that you get when you walk in this place. It's a warm embrace. It's like you're entering into a family. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Well, my name's Cindy Richards. I'm a career advisor in the Nanaimo campus, and I've been career advising for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does a career advisor do, Cindy?
I consult potential students on career outcomes, affordability, and make sure it's the right fit and answer all their questions. And people who inquire about going to school, and if we offer the program, I give them details on our courses, and yeah.
How have you watched that evolve over the last 25 years? What's changed the most?
Oh goodness, so many things have changed. Well, there's more schools for sure. The funding's changed several times. You know, back in the day, people wouldn't even get enough to cover the cost of their program through the government program. Right now, there's lots of funding, lots of grants. There was a ton of free training grants with all the changes, you know, because of the whole COVID thing, right? At the end of the day, private education, you know, has really come a long way. And they've always been career and goal orientated to give you the skills to actually be able to walk into the role, right? Rather than just general programs, right? I hope that makes sense.
It does make 100% sense, right? And what it speaks to me is an institution, a college that's receptive to what the community is asking or industry is asking.
Right.
It's that understanding what the needs are and then responding to them.
Exactly. Well, too, with Discovery, I mean, they've been on the island for 35 years, so, you know, all the associations, all the businesses, like, they know the school, they know the programs, we know the employers, so having that relationship is huge, you know. I mean, it takes time to, you have to start somewhere, and then you build up the rapport and the relationship. So, yeah, it's skills-based training at the end of the day. And they do, they support the students at the end of the program.
Before I get into supporting the students at the end of the program, which I want to talk about, but I want to talk about something else that you just mentioned, and that is they've been on the island for a long time. But there's also a very strong desire to support the very communities in which they're in to solve the problems and the challenges and make life better for the communities that they're actually in. Talk to me about the importance of that.
Well, I mean, it's important. I mean, we're feeling the need for the employers, right? And the demand. You know, employers need, you know, employees that are trained, that can walk into the job. Who's got time to train somebody? There's always going to be some subtle training, right? Different databases. You know, we use different databases here that you go to school and get trained on it. But when you have learned other databases, then you have the skills and you learn how to learn, right? So, you know, there's always a learning curve, but, you know, at the end of the day, if you're going in to be doing accounts payable and receivable, you're going to know how to, you know, do bank reconciliations, and you're going to understand Sage or QuickBooks if that's the platform they're using. But maybe they're not using that platform, but guess what? We're using this particular platform, but they're all very similar. So it's job ready. So it's important because you're filling the need. And because we can do the distance learning now, when we do practicums in their communities. They call it Prince George, right? So now we're slowly creating new relationships with new employers and new communities and new businesses, and under that whole healthcare umbrella. So they're getting to know our programs, our students. The students are the ones that represent the college at the end of the day after they've graduated, and they go out there. They get hired, they do a great job, right? And then they say, hey, these are great students, so we want to hire more Discovery College graduates. So they get in touch with us. It's nice when an employer is calling the college asking, do you have any students? I did practicums and career services for about a year in 2019 when I was on the Lower Mainland. I stepped out of my role for the first time in 25 years, and I did practicums and employment services, and I actually really enjoyed it. But then I left for another opportunity, and anyways, long story short, I thought I was retiring, but here I am, I'm back. I'm back, I've moved to the island, so now I'm an island girl, and now I'm back doing career advising, so.
Tell me about island. Being on the island, Discovery is not only on the island; they're everywhere, right?
Yeah, they have a location in Surrey, and that's where I first started working with Discovery, was in Surrey on the mainland. But and then in Maple Ridge as well. But then since I wasn't in the industry when COVID hit, I was doing my transitioning. But since that, when they opened up the online virtual classes, now they can reach everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was interesting, right?
Yeah.
All the virtual classes. But it's cool because we get inquiries in the past. If somebody called me from Prince George or Prince Rupert or Nelson, BC, I can't really help you because it was old school in campus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a campus for you to attend. Now, I do. I have a virtual campus for you. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of changes, eh? There's been a lot of changes over the years, and certainly the pandemic, while challenging, created new opportunities.
It absolutely did, and it's always fluid and it's always moving. And that every school doesn't offer every industry in every single program, so it's a student's, role to research as well. So when they're researching, we come up and we just show them our programs, the way we do things and what our process looks like. And it's really, at the end of the day, it comes up to the potential student where they want to go to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're choosing to go to school, hopefully they'll come to our school, right? If this is the program, right? I get calls for people that want courses that we don't offer. So I say, hey, you can try here. I'm pretty sure they run the programs, still helping them as a potential, as an inquiry comes in, but not every single student's going to come, right? But the ones that do, you want to make sure that they had their questions answered and their whole student experience was good from beginning to end. And at the end of the day, they're working and they get out in their careers.
Well, it's a great way, conduit into my next question, and that is they're working. And you had mentioned before that we want to make sure they're ready. We want to make sure they're ready to go out. Talk to me about the importance of making sure they're ready to go out.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest part is the practicum, because people are nervous. People are scared, and so the practicum gives them that way to be that it's a working interview at the end of the day. Not that not all are going to get offered a job, but they might get called in 6 months. They might be used as a referral or say, hey, I know somebody that's looking. But it gives the student the confidence that they need so that they can feel good about what they've done. When they go on job interviews, they can now actually say, I actually have experience, and it might only be 4 weeks, but here's what I did, and it was great, and I was doing this and that. They can talk about it. They can put it on the resume, and that shines. The confidence comes through. Because if you think about it, if you went to school and you didn't actually get hands-on and get out in the field and practice, and you're going in an interview, I mean, it's nervous because they're like, especially if you don't have any background. But now you can say, well, I've just studied, but I did do a practicum and I feel really good about it, and these are some of the things I was doing. So it just gives that potential, hire, that the person who's hiring, they're looking at them and going, okay. I mean, people always say, oh, they need experience. I go, yeah, but you got to start somewhere. You got to get that first job. Employers always want experience. So even though they ask for experience, you apply anyways. Like at the end of the day, you apply. Yeah. And then time, you'll get experience, and then if you can't move up, and now you can, throw your irons out, and you can start, looking for other positions that maybe are more higher up in rank, higher wages. Because now the more time and longevity you have in your field, the more you'll start to potentially earn or advance up that sort of corporate ladder, or whatever you're doing, depending on what you're doing. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's huge to be prepared to get out there into the workplace.
Yeah, my final question to you is, you've been around for a while here. What does Discovery mean to you?
Because I'm old.
I'm old.
Listen, it's okay. It's how we feel, right? It's not a number. Age is just a number, really. What does Discovery mean to me? Well, I mean, it's where I'm working, so I spend a lot of my time here. So I enjoy my coworkers, because I was hoping to retire, but here I am. I'm not. Discovery's great. I work for other colleges, but they're family orientated, they're community based, and they kind of stand behind their word, and students really don't get lost in the shuffle, you know what I mean, compared to other schools. And I don't diss any school, but you know what I mean, I've spoken to lots of students and who've been to not just private but public, so I've got 25 years of feedback. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can share that feedback, right?
I really appreciate your discussion. I appreciate your straightforward, honest approach to everything. It's wonderful that you're on the team, and it's wonderful that you're able to guide students when they most need it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I love doing it. Obviously, I've been doing it for a long time, and so, yeah, you listen to what they're asking and what they need, and we're not always the right program, right? We're not the right fit, and it's okay to say that. But
Yeah.
thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Well, another wonderful interview. Thank you very much.